This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, here to bring you guys another wonderful episode of the J Lounge. Of course, everyone knows out there, we are a celebrity-based podcast show where we talk with actors, directors, writers, singers, you name it. They all come down here and they all have a really great time. Of course, as per norm, I'm always excited to be introducing my next guest. He is an actor and he's here to tell us about his work, and I can't wait for my audience to learn more about him. So everyone, please give a super warm welcome to Mark Vasconellos. Hi.
Hey there, how you doing?
I am doing good. How are you?
Very good, excellent.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you joining me today. I've been really admiring your work, so it's really appreciate that you've been here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Trying to keep as busy as possible.
No, I get it. I get it. As an actor, that's the best thing, is to keep busy as possible.
Exactly.
All right, Mark, I'm going to go ahead and fire the first question at you. I want to know, what began your passion for acting?
Well, I guess it would have to be when I first moved to LA. I was living overseas working as a cameraman and a filmmaker, so I know both sides of the camera. And a female director friend of mine by the name of Nancy Malone said, "You should be out here acting." And I'm like, well, I really don't know anything about acting. I never did high school plays or anything like that. I was always in rock bands and doing crazy stuff in sports.
Really?
And
Rock
so,
band?
yeah, so in the 90s, I moved to LA and I started studying acting right away with Stella Adler at the Stella Adler Conservatory West. And it was amazing. It was life-changing. You know, I didn't actually study under her. I would attend her master class and watch the other actors on stage, like Mark Ruffalo, Selma Hayek, Sean Astin, people like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely cool. I got to get into this. So yeah, it was moving to LA and studying with Stella Adler and her coaches.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. And to work with such big, oh my goodness. First of all, I'm a huge Selma Hayek fan. Always has been, ever since.
It was trippy being in class with those people.
Oh
And they were
my
great,
gosh, I would
you
freak
know,
out.
and it was cool because we all kind of supported each other. We'd go to each other's plays and stuff like that. So yeah, it was, and you just knew something about these people, that they were special. And I'd never been into acting, so I just kind of dove right into it and
oh my gosh, how super cool is that? And I have to say, Mark, you're a lot better than me, because I think I would have freaked out as soon as I saw Selma Hayek. I would start crying. I'm like, Selma, I love you. But that's just me. That's just me. So you did a lot better than me. So clap to you. Honestly.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a little competition going on there too, you know, with, you know, everybody's like vying for different roles and, you know, taking classes and seeing who can do great in classes and stuff. So, you know, but it was good. And we were all challenging and helping each other. And, you know, certain people just rose to the top and got great agents, and, you know, they're still out there doing it. And I'm still out there doing it too.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I love that. That actually brings me to my next question, going on to number 2. As an actor, what roles do you gravitate to?
I have a tendency to like roles that are really far away from Mark.
Well, of course. That's the beauty of acting.
You know, I mean, I like the dark, heavy characters that are really flawed. You know, it really challenges you to do a lot of homework and step into another life that is totally different from what you are, or, you know to be comfortable. So I like those kinds of challenges. I don't shy away from that. So yeah, I definitely go for the hardcore, deeply flawed characters.
Well, like you said, for that, it takes, a lot of studying, and to do drama, really, you really have to know the emotions of your, you really have to bring out those emotions. You really have to nail it, especially, if grief, you got to really sell the grief, anger, anxiety, frustration. You really got to sell it, not only through your acting, but through your facial expressions, through your eyes. If you're in pain, we got to see it. So that takes a lot, and that can be like a lot mentally and emotionally.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Characters can literally destroy you in the process. But, to me, you really got to live another life, and you got to learn that character backwards and forwards. And with working with Stella Adler and her philosophies, which was basically Stanislavski's method, the number one rule is be true to the character and the story.
Hmm.
So I like to disappear. Mark disappears when he becomes another character. So you have to really dig deep and learn everything about that character, and then just trust yourself and trust your director and let it happen when you're in front of the camera.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, it's always important, after finishing those roles, not taking the heaviness with you. You know what I mean? A lot of actors, they go playing roles so deep, sometimes it affects them in the real life because, they're so
Oh yeah.
immense in that role. So yeah,
Yeah.
kudos.
It's
Ah,
it's all a controlled technique.
yeah, it is. And then it's a fine line too. Control technique and a fine line as well.
Yeah.
All right. Going on to number 3 question. Name 3 people who influenced your career and why.
Um, First, I'd have to say the late great actress and director Nancy Malone. A lot of people may not know her, but she was one of the first female actors and directors in Hollywood. She was actually one of my college coaches, and she said, "You guys got to come down and work on some of my movies." And and then she kind of gave me the acting bug, and she said, "Why aren't you out here acting in LA?" And I like, well, I never really thought about it. I always wanted to be a director and a cameraman, and I did that in other parts of the world, which was fantastic. And I got to travel the world doing that. And then in the 90s, like I said, I moved to LA, and she introduced me to Stella Adler. And so I started taking the classes there. And then once Stella Adler passed away, um, some of the acting coaches under her created their own studios to study and do plays with. So I followed an acting coach by the name of Arthur Mendoza, who started Actor Circle Theater in West Hollywood, and that's where I really got my chops in theater and doing plays and things like that. And so I'd say, Stella Adler, Nancy Malone, and Arthur Mendoza probably influenced me the most.
Oh, that's beautiful. That really is. And it's great that if no one's known, and I highly encourage people who haven't, know of Nancy's work, definitely check it out. Definitely a very prominent figure in the filmmaking scene. So I'm glad that she was able to inspire you, got you into that passion, because you're one hell of an actor. So it's good that you are still in it. And yeah, I loved your choices. I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Going on to the next question, going on to number 4, what's been your favorite role to date and why?
Um, I'd probably have to say our latest movie release, which is called Village. And it can be seen on Tubi TV for free, which is great. We
Woo!
have like 6
Yay!
movies on Tubi. Yeah, the movie's called Village, and I play a character by the name of Sikar, and he's kind of the strong arm and protector of the village that's featured in the movie. And like I said, he's a heavily flawed character.
Mhm.
Um, and he does some dastardly, nasty things, but he has his reasons for doing them. And, there is some empathy and compassion shown in the performance for him, which, even though there's villains and bad people in the world, they're a product of their environment most of the time. And so we need to understand that and have some compassion and empathy. And if a character can show that in a movie or a television series while they're still being a bad person, so to speak, that's tricky. And so it did come out in the movie, and you kind of feel sorry for this guy. He does some nasty things in the movie.
Oh, I definitely will have to check it out. You said it's The Village on Tubi?
Yeah, it's on tubitv.com, and just type in the word village.
Perfect. I love Tubi. I'm really glad that they have really gotten amazing movie content, and they've really grown over the years. I mean, it was just like a free channel. Now they're piping out independent films that are just
Oh yeah.
incredible. And I'm just like in awe of it. I'm like, how did they just turn out like free TV? Now they're just turning out like incredible independent filmmaking content. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, granted, you have to watch some commercials during the run of the movie, but
Of
you can
course.
get up and go get some food and popcorn and come back. And
Exactly.
we have 6 movies on Tubi TV right now, which is cool.
Oh, well, I highly encourage my audience. Check out The Village on Tubi. And like he says, don't worry about commercials. Just grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, and then get back to the show. You'll love it. That's how we
You
do
can
it.
have a
That's how we do
bathroom break.
it. I love it. All right, going on to the next question. Mark, I want to make sure my audience is able to follow you and your work. Where are you on social media?
Oh gosh, where am I not? I'm pretty
Right.
much on I'm pretty much on every platform, but not on Snapchat or my biggest one is Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, I have 2 profiles, my more personal one, and then I have an actor one, which is M Vasco 007, on the Facebook. And but I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, you name it, I'm there trying to, you gotta promote yourself, especially if you don't have a big time PR person working for you. And if
Right.
you're doing a lot of independent work, yeah, you got to get out there and push your own movies and push your own, your own talent. So yeah, pretty much everywhere. You just type in my name and I'll pop up. You can even Google me.
How cool. Now you made it officially. If we can find you on Google, you know it. You know
You're
you
somebody.
officially made it if you were on Google. Honestly, that is awesome. That is awesome. And I highly encourage my audience, make sure you go follow Mark on all social media, especially Facebook, Instagram, because of course we always want to see more of his work for sure.
For
All right,
sure.
going on to the next question. Yeah, absolutely. Going on to the next question. What future projects are you involved with that you can give a little bit of dish about for the J Lounge audience?
Okay, so like I said, we just released Village a couple months ago, and that's doing quite well. And so we're working on 2 scripts. One's a follow-up for Village, so it'd be Village 2. We don't know the actual name yet, and it's a continuation. And then we have another movie called Invisible Shackles, which is way out there, man. It's like sci-fi, futuristic drama thriller. It's got everything rolled into it, and it's got a lot of politics in it too, which is, got to get the word out. People got to speak up and be out there. And
Mhm.
then we just recently, this past week, sent a new short movie out to like 20 very select film festivals, because we're trying to get into Oscar contention with this new short movie called
Ooh,
Arto. Yeah, yeah.
ooh,
So
big.
fingers crossed. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Oh my goodness, that is big. That is big, big, big.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got to get accepted into certain film festivals though in order to qualify.
that makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Fingers crossed, praying. That would be so big. That would be so big. That would be really, really huge.
Yeah,
So
it'd
to
be
see
fun.
that in existence, yes, of course. I mean, yeah. I mean, I have been really checking out a lot of short films, which I really feel, even though there have been more over the past couple of years, it's still, I feel like it's still underappreciated. A lot of short films are really great, and I would say to people, really just open your minds to short films. I understand,
Yeah.
movies are short, but they pack so much in the little time that they have.
Right. And definitely, and sometimes it's a easier way to get your foot in the door,
Hmm.
um, because getting a feature film accepted in a film festival is really difficult. So sometimes maybe the short movie route, but it's got to be good. The quality's got to be there. The acting's got to be there. The
Hmm.
story's got to be there, and it's got to be interesting. I've been working with this director, he's fantastic and he's different, and his stuff is not boring. I mean, you watch Village, it's not boring.
Right. Right. And I agree with that. Short films are a great way to get your foot in the door. But like you said, the content, because you only have so little time, everything's gotta be precise. Acting,
Right.
directing, all of it's got to be on point. But that's why I really feel like short films work, because, you know, everything is so precise. So
Yeah, it's all got to be top notch.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, going on to my next question. Going up to number 7. What goals do you hope to accomplish in your career that you haven't yet?
Well, I've got about 5 more movies that I want to be in. So that's definitely something I'm working towards. And some of it's on my end, and some of it's on other directors that I know that want to work with me, and I want to work with them. And so, it takes time, to get the script really spanking good. And then obviously you got to go out and find funding. And, I've also been a television show host. Had my own travel show in New Mexico.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I created a travel show called Enchantments. You can see some of the episodes on my YouTube page. Um, but I would like to have another television show kind of along the lines of travel, but kind of keep it inside the United States and do some really cool things in all different parts of the United States. I can't give away the topic because people will steal it.
Of course,
So,
of course, of course. It's got to be top secret, top secret. You
right.
know.
But I love meeting people, and go. It's we're all a group of human beings on a big bouncing ball in the middle of the sky. We should get along instead of fighting each other. And I'd rather have a good time with someone than get in a fight with someone.
Oh yeah,
So
yes,
yeah. So
absolutely.
I want to do another TV show where I'm the host, and can really dig deep and have some fun and meet a lot of cool people and do a lot of cool things, and educate other people as well.
Love it. Love it. So I highly encourage my audience, if you go to Mark's YouTube channel, make sure you see Enchantments. And of course, Mark will keep us posted on his new travel show. As you said, he's keeping it hush hush. Don't want, no one stealing the idea. We
Right.
haven't gotten patented yet. We haven't patented it yet. So,
I think I have a copyright.
I hope so. All right, just couple 3 more questions for you. Going on to number 8. What passions do you have outside of acting?
Probably my biggest passion is traveling. I was lucky enough as a teenager to live overseas, and that kind of put the travel bug inside me. And so, whenever I can get a break, whether it's a couple weeks or whatever, take off and go to another country. Um, I've been really fortunate that I lived in Spain, Italy, France, North
Ooh,
Africa. Yeah, I was lucky, and a lot of that stemmed out of doing the camera work around the world. And so I can say I've probably been to like 40 different countries. And so
wow.
yeah, anything outdoors and traveling and meeting other people and eating great food and drinking good wine, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so travel and anything outdoors is awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing living in Italy. I definitely want to visit Italy one day. I recently in September went out to Puerto Rico. They have
Nice.
amazing food. Oh my gosh, that's all I
Yeah,
did over there was eat. Their food is really amazing. So,
that's
but I've
great.
always wanted to visit Italy and Paris. So that is definitely on my bucket list. You just made it more on my bucket list.
And you will.
Absolutely. Speaking in existence, absolutely. All
Cool.
right, going on to number 9. What advice do you have for inspiring actors who hope to have the same successful career as you have?
Great question. Yeah. I actually teach acting for the camera, which has been great for the past 4 or 5 years. I've taught hundreds of students out here in New Mexico and El Paso, Texas. And my basic advice is learn a proper acting technique. There's so much more to acting than just learning some lines and regurgitating them on camera or on the stage. And then once you do learn an actual technique, get into theater, do some theater work because it will scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
it's 90 minutes of nonstop go, and but it's fun, and it really gives you a great foundation for your acting. The acting on camera is a little bit different. You're not reaching the back of a room that holds 300 people. On camera, you just got to find that state of being and know your characters inside and out. So basically, learn a great technique, practice it, practice it, practice it, get into theater, and then put yourself out there with great headshots and a resume and get into any kind of film or television production you can. That's, yeah. And you just got to build. No one becomes a star overnight.
Exactly. Exactly. And I agree with the theater. If you really want to push your, self to the limit, your acting abilities, do theater and play. As you said, it'll scare the hell out of you, but
Mhm.
it'll at least you'll be really getting, experience, really jumping in head first, really, is how I
Yeah,
want to
well,
say it.
it builds up your confidence and your nerves of steel because you got to go out there and perform for 90 minutes and things happen. So
Yes.
you got to be on your toes, you got to be ready for change, you got to be ready to improvise if that happens,
Mhm.
and you got to be fearless,
Yes.
So yeah, so and that transcends over to acting on camera, on working in television and film. You got to own your craft, you got to be great, you got to be fearless, and you got to have that confidence in yourself that you say, you know what, I own this, I know what I'm
Exactly.
doing, and I'm going to deliver and help tell this story as better than anybody else can.
Amen to that. I agree to that. I really, really do. So
Hmm.
that's really great advice. Hopefully everyone's listening in, paying attention to that, because that's really great advice. All right, Mark, going on to the last question here for you. Name 3 directors you would love to work with.
Oh my gosh. There's so many great directors out there.
I know.
I'm so jazzed that I'm working with the director and writer that I'm working with right now. His name's Hafid Abdelmoula. He's up and coming. He's from Morocco, but he lives here in southern New Mexico, and we just click. And what I like about him is his different perspective on life, on characters, on relationships, and things like that. And when he makes his movies, they're, like I said, they're very different. Um, the use of the camera, the editing, everything is just wow. And it's like when you watch his movies, you can't take your eyes off of them. You don't fall asleep because they're not boring. So I'm really blessed to be working with Hafid. Hopefully, we'll do probably 3 or 4 more movies together. And yeah, he's just fantastic. And then I would love to work with Ridley Scott. Um,
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, he's just done such a variety of projects. And to me, when someone can do variety, that is great. And as an actor and a performer, you got to be able to do all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
You're going to be asked to do all kinds of stuff, and you got to be able to do variety of things. So like when you build your resume and your demo reel, have a great demo reel with a lot of variety in it. So I mean, it'd be fantastic to work with Ridley Scott, but he's super busy. I'm a little guy in southern New Mexico doing my thing. But you never know, right?
You never know.
um, yeah, and gosh, who else would I love to work with? I think it would be fun to work with. Is his name James Gunn, the guy who directs a lot of the,
Yes.
the Marvel movies and
Yes.
stuff? And I
Yes.
say that I say that because they are so technical oriented, those shoots, because you're using green screen,
Yep.
motion tracking, you're doing all that stuff, and you still got to act and perform, but you're wearing a onesie jumpsuit with a bunch of tennis balls glued to your
Yep.
body, and needle marks all over your face. I don't know if you've seen some of those behind the scenes
Yes,
of
I
the,
have.
yeah, and it's
Absolutely.
like, the actors look like total fools, but you're doing some really highly technical work, which is cool, which is another aspect for actors to learn. And then you got to act and perform at the same time. So yeah, those three directors would be a great variety to work with. So that would be so
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Especially, you said Ridley Scott. I just recently got done watching The House of Gucci. That was a beautiful film, by the way. I know some people probably won't watch it, but I highly encourage it because the storytelling, the acting,
Oh
camera
yeah,
work, everything was
it's
spot on.
fun. It's
It was,
fun.
and
It's
it was a
crazy.
lot of fun to watch. Yeah, it was. It's a slow burner at the beginning, but once you get to that second act and all of that, it just becomes like a really fun movie to watch.
Yeah,
So
no, he's a great
yeah,
director.
absolutely. And as you're right, I know people might have a lot to say about the Marvel movies, but as you just pointed out, there's so many things, there's so many technical things that's going on, and how actors can do it when they have this onesie on, when they have tennis balls around them and all that kind of stuff. It's still pretty damn impressive.
It is. It's very impressive when you think of it. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of superhero movies.
Hmm.
I like less is more for me as an
Agreed.
actor and a viewer. But just learning the technical aspects is huge. And
It
then
is.
there's going to be times when you're on sets and there's so much technical stuff going on, but you still got to nail your mark. You got to
Yep.
nail your lines. You got to find your light. And I've been on some major big, Breaking Bad, man, the episodes I were in were huge. And it's like, wow, this isn't a TV show. This is a monster movie happening. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. So it's great for an actor to learn the technical side of the camera as well as the acting side of the camera.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. Oh my goodness, Mark, I have enjoyed our conversation today. I'm super excited. My audience were able to, learn about you, your work. I can't wait for them to see more of your work. And yeah, you just keep doing what you do.
We do. We never give up. We never give up. We
Exactly.
have those ups and downs and everything, but you still keep fighting and doing what you have to do to get out there, be seen, help tell great stories, and then you publicize yourself and do it. Just do it.
Yeah, you're right. Just do it. Publicize yourself because, if you don't have a PR, you got to be an advocate for yourself. There's no better
Yeah.
person to be an advocate than for your own self.
Yeah.
So you got
Exactly.
to do it. You got to do it. Well, I hope you definitely keep more projects here on the J Lounge. Hopefully you'll give us more information on your projects that are coming up because we definitely want to know more. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what more you do and more stories and what you can pull out next.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. You're fun and
Yeah.
and definitely we'll be in touch and we'll let everybody know when the new movies come out for sure.
Ah, yay! Oh, I'm so glad. I am so glad you had a good time here. That's what we try to do here in the J Lounge. So I'm glad that mission was accomplished. I'm super happy. Of course, I want to highly encourage my audience. Make sure you go follow Mark Vasconcellos on all social media platforms, especially Facebook. And make sure you just check out more of his work because we definitely want to see more of it. But as you guys know, I've been your hostess with the most, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, bringing you guys another great episode of the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know I will be back soon with more great episodes, more great guests. Until then, I thank my audience. Mark, I thank you. And
Thank
everyone,
you.
I shall be back soon. Till then, bye.